Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing a 3 looks, 1 palette. I always get very dramatic when I do this. Using the by Beauty Bay Book of Magic palette. Yes, it's been discontinued, but I have it and I want to use it and I want to do a 3 looks 1 palette on it, and I'm sure a lot of people do have it and I'm hoping maybe they bring it back. Maybe. I did a first impressions not that long ago, like a week or 2 ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. I'm not sure. I don't know what my schedule is right now, but I'm just gonna keep filming. It's a glorious, colourful with a little bit of neutral. I'd say it's a colourful palette with a pop of neutral. There's a couple of neutrals on top. There's beautiful bluey tones, aqua tones and purple tones. Some duochromes. The shimmers are, for this look I did all blue, as you can probably guess from the blue on my eyes. But in my first impressions I did like the aqua colours. This is stunning, this is stunning. Cannot wait to use the purples, and I actually am going to do a neutral look with this as well. Well, neutral with a twist. Yeah. What I will say is you won't see me really use this one a lot. It looks very pale on camera because of the lights, but in real life it's a bit more of a buttermilk kind of colour. It's a bit dark and a bit warm for my skin, so I wouldn't use this as a brow bone highlight. I wouldn't use this as a blending colour really, unless I'm using the browns. I wouldn't use it for any of these, because if I had to use this with this blue look it would have turned green because it has so much yellow in it compared to the rest of my skin. So yeah, to me it's not necessary for it to be there, but I will use it in probably the neutral look if I feel like I need to. I had a bit of issue with this one, but if you want to know my first impressions, go to look at my first impressions, and I'll have swatches of everything on that video as well. So yeah, this is look number 1. If you want to see any up close pictures of any of the looks that I do, my Instagram is listed down below. You can go follow me there for up close pictures of my eyes and up close pictures of my face. And I'm also doing IGTVs, where I might do tutorials using palettes, I might do swatches. I'm swatching all my palettes as well, and I do throw up a poll every now and again, so you get to pick which palette comes next in my poll, so go follow that down below. And also hit subscribe down below to see more looks coming up. We have lots more palettes coming up, so many palettes. There's so many palettes. I've also got my colour series and my up close collection, so you can see all the palettes up close as well. Let's get into look number 1. Okay guys, so let's get into look number 1 using the Book of Magic palette. I'm very excited. Today we're doing blue. I just want to play with this entire bottom row and this guy up here as well. All 3 mattes, all 3 shimmers along here. I'm going to throw them in here and there on my eye. Classic blue smoky eye. I love a blue smoky eye. Can't go wrong, for me anyway. I already have my skin on, my brows on and my brows on, which is all listed down below. If you want to check it all out, it's down there. So yeah, we're going to get straight in. I'm going to go in with my BH Cosmetics Lavender Luxe number 6 brush, which is a super skinny fluffy brush for a little bit of precision, but also I'm mostly just kind of packing this colour on. The first colour we're going to take is Trick, which is not the lightest blue. We're going to use this to blend it out, but we're going to start with this one just to get the impact on. I want this to be quite intense, and I did get a good bit of fallout the last time I used this palette, so I'm just going to really tap it off. We're just going to work that in to the outer corner mostly, bring it into the crease. I'm not going to blend up high or anything like that because I'm going to use the other colour to blend it out. So just getting it into your general shape. I'm going a little bit rounded with it, just because I feel like it. I love a kind of, whenever I see just like blues all together, I instantly think of this kind of eye. So that's what I want to do. And I feel like I haven't used blue in ages. Look at how vibrant that blue is. Oh, okay. We're going to go in and blend. So I'm going to take my 224 from MAC, the big fluffy brush, and we're going to go in with, what are you called? Elixir, the lighter blue. A little bit more of like a sky blue, cyan blue kind of colour. The first one was more of like a true cobalt blue. And this is just going to go just on the edge, and we're just going to go in and fluff that all out. All the way around. Just keep picking up a little bit at a time because I don't want this to go out of control. Just taking a small bit. Buff it out, and you can always add more of the first blue if you want to, if you lose a bit of colour, if you lose a bit of intensity, you can always add that back in. Okay, so this is blending unbelievably. So easy. I mean, they are both blue, so they will blend into each other fairly easy, but my god, that's impressive. Okay, so before we add in any extra colours, I want to go in with this brush here. This is a MAC 513 SES. One of the ones that came out with Christmas collection. It's just a pencil brush with an angle to it. The angle doesn't really mean anything. I'm not picking it because it has an angle. Any pencil brush will do. So we're going to go back in with the shade Trick which was the first blue that we used, the brightest one. I'm going to use that along my lower lash line. Again, just whack it on, get the colour on as you want it, where you want it, how intense you want it, and then we'll blend it out in a second. And then picking up another brush from that little MAC set. This is a 512 SES. It's like a flat, but still kind of fluffy brush. It's like a packing brush, but like a fluffier version. And we're going to take the Elixir shade again, the lighter blue, and just repeat what we did on top. So we're just going to use that shade to help blend, just picking up a little bit at a time and go over the edge and soften all that out. You can bring this down as far as you want to. You can do it as thin as you want to. Whichever way you want to do it. Okay, so I want to deepen this up a little bit. I know there's a black here, but I want to use this guy here, which is Cursed. I like that name. I want to see how dark this goes. I may even add a bit of black, but I want to just see how deep this will actually get me. And we're just going to press that. This is a e.l.f. contour brush, but it's for eyes, obviously. It's just like a stubby kind of fluffy brush. Oh yeah, I like it. I love a navy eyeshadow. That is coming up in my colour series as navy, and I'm very excited about it. So that's just going on the outer corner and bringing it into the crease to deepen this up a little bit, keeping that nice rounded shape. Shouldn't need too much blending with this colour, like I will blend a little bit, but because the other colours are already blended, you're just deepening those. Then I'm just going to take the brush that we used at the very beginning with the first shade, Trick. Yes. I'm just going to use just whatever is left on it and just use that to soften around that darkest shade, because that's what I want this to blend into. But it literally should be very little effort if you've already done your blending beforehand. Then keeping with that shade, I'm just taking a very, very teeny weeny little flat brush, just something really small that you can get into your lashes with. Taking the same Cursed shade, pick up a little bit, and that's going to go on the lower lash line, right into the lashes as close as you can get it. Just to really add that smokiness underneath. Making sure to connect it on your outer corner as well, very important as always. I will always say it unless you're disconnecting it. That's the only other time I will not say that. Little update on the last look that I did in my first impressions using this palette. I didn't get any staining. It's shocking, I know, because those kind of greeny, tealy, greeny, aqua kind of colours like these ones always stain me, and they didn't. This, however, probably will. So I will update you in the next part of this look whenever I'm filming again, and I are already taken this off, which I think will be look number 2 when I film that, but I'll give you an update then. But yeah, shocked. Okay, so I'm going to take some of my Too Faced Glitter Insurance just to pop onto my lid, give us something nice and tacky to work with. Just going to use my finger because whatever, and pop that right the way across where we haven't added any colour. I'm just going to do one eye at a time just so the stickiness stays there where I want it to be. Ooh, what way do I want to do this? I think we'll do Potion first, which is the brighter blue shimmer. And the shimmers, the ones that I used in my first impressions, were like my favourite part of the palette, so I have high hopes for this. Oh, this is creamier. So picking that up on the brush and press that on the inner half of the lid. Oh yeah. A little bit of fallout, but that's fine. That's fine. Nothing that can't be handled. That's a really nice colour. Oh yes, I still love the shimmers. They're my favourite part of this palette. Look at that. So pretty. Then what I'm going to do is take the shade Jinx, which is this kind of like, it looks like a gunmetal-y kind of colour, but it's got a lot of blue reflex in it. Take that just on the back of that same brush. And that's going to go on the centre part to give us that smokiness, because it definitely has more of like a blackened base to it. So just picking a little bit up and pressing it on. Also a little bit of fallout from this colour, but again, nothing to worry about. And oh, yes, I'm liking it. Kind of flick back between the two colours where they meet. Just flipping my brush over until you're happy with the blend between them. Then going back in with that same brush that we used for Cursed and take a little bit more of that, just a dab. It's just to help blend the shimmers into the matte. Got a lot of fallout now. Now that I've worked with a good few colours, I have a lot of fallout, but I'll tidy that up in a second. Okay, so I am loving it so far. I had to clean up a lot of fallout, but it's fine, whatever. I'm going to go into the shade Moonlight, which is the shimmer kind of silvery white. It's not picking up on my brush, but I'm using a very small little, it's like a Makeup Revolution brush I got in an advent calendar. Nothing fancy, just to press this on the inner corner. And this is the kind of shimmer, I'm pretty sure I used it in my first impressions, but this is the kind of shimmer that you would be better off using your fingers because it's that kind of foiled consistency. It just goes on a little bit better. But like I've said before, I like to press it on generally in the area that I want and do the blending then, and then add a bit more impact with my finger. Okay, so I just pressed on an extra little bit there on the inner corner. You can see it's super twinkly and sparkly and I really, really like it. The shimmers in this palette are definitely my favourite. I'm going to jump off, do my liner, lashes, cheeks and lips, and then I will come back and let you know what I use on the rest of my face. Alright guys, so this is how I have finished off my look. I'm loving it. I love these lashes with this eye. I haven't used these lashes in forever, but I'm going to show you what they are in a second. So for the actual eyes, I was going to do like quite a dark black, even a navy kind of liner on my waterline, but then I found that I had this. I forgot that I had it. This is the LA Girl Shockwave Neon Eyeliner in the shade Electric. It's essentially the exact same colour as the brighter blues that we used. So that's what I use on my waterline and it's so beautiful. I love these liners, they're so good. And then for my upper lashes, I didn't want anything mental, so I just went with my MAC Dual Dare All Day Waterproof Liner in Dare Black. It's a double-ended liner. One side is a liquid pen, which I did not use, but I did use the twist up pencil side. And I just smushed that into my upper lashes just for something for the lashes to kind of blend into a little bit. And for my mascara, I use my Clinique Lash Power mascara, as I have been using recently. And then the lashes are the Starlit lashes from House of Lashes. I have them ages and I've used them lots, but I haven't used them in so long and I forgot how much I really like them. They really do that smoky effect to the eye because they're super dense in the root of the lashes and then fluff out to the featheriness on the end. I love them. Quite dramatic, but I like it for this look. I really do. So then onto cheeks, I used my MAC Mineralize blush in the shade Humour Me. It's not a blush for me, it's a bronzer. So I use that to bronze up my skin because I was very pale. I'll admit that. I was very pale, so I use that to bronze me up. And then my blush and highlight is the Wet n Wild Hello Halo Blushlighter in the shade Highlight Bling. So I use the blush and the highlight to give me a super glowy, blushy kind of look. Not too insane with the blush, but a very nice blush. I do really like that as well. Then my lip, I had such a hard time. I was between two different lips. I was even going to use a Jeffree Star liquid lipstick because I have a good few of these and I was going to use this, but it was a bit too peachy orangey on me. Even though it's a nude, I wanted something a little bit cooler. So I went with my Sugar Pill liquid lipstick in the shade Dainty. Just like a soft pink. It is. It's a very soft pink, super natural pink. It's a really, really nice colour. That's a matte liquid lip, so I wanted a little bit of gloss because it looked a bit weird just matte. I wanted a little bit of something on top, so I used this Catrice Crystal Lip Gloss. There's no shade name, but it's just super sparkly. So any sparkly gloss, I don't think they do this anymore, any sparkly gloss will work for this. Just for a little bit of gloss on top. Even a clear would work too. Alrighty guys, so this is look number 1 using the beautiful Book of Magic palette. I've been really enjoying it. We've had one or two hits and misses. The shimmers are stunning. The shimmer I use in my inner corner needs a bit of building up, but that's fine. I'm so excited to get into my next look. I think is another colour or it might be neutral. I don't know which one I'm doing next, but whichever I feel like doing next. So let's see what we do for look number 2. Alright guys, so let's get into look number 2. Yes, am I on number 2? I am on number 2. Number 2 of the Book of Magic palette. Today, I am feeling all the purples. Just all of the purples. And I think this gold here as well. Probably going to do like a half cut crease or something like that. I already have my skin on, brows on, eyeshadow primer, all that kind of stuff. It's all listed down below like always. So let's start. So I'm going to be using a couple of brushes from the Lavender Look set from BH Cosmetic. This is a number 5 brush. It's the biggest fluffy brush for the eyes. And I'm taking the shade Enchanted, which is that super pale lilac-y shade. It kind of matches my nails actually. But I have my nails painted for a different reason for the video. Not this video, another video. So I'm going to take a little bit of that. And that is just going to go as my transition shade. All on the outer corner. And through the crease. Now I'm curious to see if this colour acts like that lightest blue that I used in, or the lightest greeny colour, the aqua shade Wish that I used in my first impressions, because it went a bit chalky looking on the eye. Now the look turned out beautiful and fabulous and all that kind of stuff, and it blended really easy and everything worked well over it. It's just when I went on I could see it catching out, just it showed up chalky on the eye, if that makes sense. But it's kind of the nature of a pastel. It has a lot of white in it, so I can understand why it's doing it. Actually, no, it's not doing it at all. And I really thought this colour would do that, considering that greeny colour did. So yeah, that's good. I'm blending it right through the crease and pretty high up as well, because it is such a pale colour. You're not really gonna know, like, you can't really, you can see I've put purple on my eyes, but you can't really like tell where it's starting and stopping. So when I put the other colours on, I just won't blend them up as high, and it'll automatically give me a blend. So now what we're going to do is take a slightly smaller brush from that same Lavender Look set. This is still a fluffy brush. It's still probably a bigger fluffy brush for most people, but it's just slightly smaller. It's the number 7. And we're going to take the shade Sorcery. I love all the names in this palette. The brightest purple in the palette. That's a matte. And we're going to take that to just deepen up the crease. Oh, whoa, okay. Hang on a minute now. We're just going to use that in the outer corner first, and then we're going to buff that into the crease. Ooh, that's blending like a dream. And I'm just taking a little bit more, and we're just going to run it all the way through, because if I am doing a half cut crease, I'm going to be in a half cut crease with glitter primer. I'm not going to do it like full on concealer and all that kind of stuff. I want in here to be defined as well, so that way when we do cut the crease, we have the contrast. I say it in a lot of videos, but just if anyone's new, that's why. And then I'm just going to go in, and whatever's left on the brush, just softly diffuse that around. And then as you're blending, if you're losing colour, just build it up, add a bit more of the purple, and then blend, and then add more purple, and then blend. It's up to yourself how much you want it to be. Now obviously you get a much vibrant effect if you didn't already put down that first purple. It does dilute the colour a little bit, but that's okay, because I'm going to be deepening it up even more. Just taking whatever's left on that very first brush that we used with the lightest shade, and just use that to diffuse the edges. Again, it's up very high in my brow. You don't have to do it that high. Alright, so that's on, and I've blended it with both colours just to get the kind of vibe that I want. I would say it's a bit dusty, but I can't tell if it's the stronger purple or the lightest purple that I use. I think it might be the lightest purple that I used. Again, it's that kind of pastel-y sort of texture, so I don't know. I'd be interested to see what the bright purple, like the one I just used to deepen this up, would look like over just primer and no transition shade. So then just to build it up even more, we're going to go into the shade Voodoo, which is the deepest purple, and this is on a number 6 brush from the BH Cosmetics Lavender Looks. It's an even smaller, skinnier blending brush, mostly for like detail work in the crease. So I'm just going to pick up that deepest shade and use this to deepen up the look. Again, always start where you want it to be the darkest, so I want my darkest point to be out here in the corner. And then we're going to use a little bit more, and then just start fluffing that through the crease, and I'm bringing it all the way across. Again, we want the definition. This colour is building up really nicely. It's a really nice purple. It's my favourite kind of purple tone, especially in a deeper shade. And then just whatever's left on the brush, again, I'm just blending that into the purple we used before. You can go in with your other brushes to help blend. I'm just using the brush that I've been using for the darker purple. Okay, so keeping with that same colour, we're going to take Voodoo again, and this is on a MAC, what are you, 231 brush. It's a little lip brush, but I'm just going to use it for my lower lash line, because I'm kind of done now with the crease, unless I need to blend a little bit more once everything else is done, but we'll see how we go. I'm just going to use that same shade and just going to run that along the lower lash line. Try and get it as close as you can to your lashes, making sure, as always, stay with me guys, to connect it on the outer corner. And I'm running that pretty much all the way across. I actually am going to run it all the way along my lower lash line. Okay, and then I'm going to go back in with the number 7 brush. So that was the second brush that I used. And I'm going to take the shade Sorcery again, that middle purple. And I'm going to use that to blow out this lower lash line. I've almost dropped the palette, and yes, got shadow all over me. Lovely. So I'm going to take a little dab of that, and we're just going to use that to blow out that lower lash line and blend and soften all our edges. And then just with whatever's left on that biggest fluffy brush that we use, I'm just going to use that to make sure all my edges are super soft. There shouldn't really be much product left on this brush anyway, so it's just going to help diffuse everything. Okay, so cut crease time, we're going to use the NYX glitter primer like normal. And I'm just taking this V Cosmetics brush, just a flat synthetic brush. Any flat synthetic concealer brush you have will do. Just something that will help you create a nice edge and also press the colours on the eye. So we're going to start on the lid first, just to get that even where I want it to be. Then just with whatever's on it now, using that, apply a bit of pressure just so you have, like, it's doing the work to take away some of the colour along the edge here. Okay, so I have my cut creasey going on there. It's not going to be as prominent as a normal cut crease, but it's as prominent as I want it to be right now. So we're going to start. Where are we going to start? We will start with, ooh, I might start with Alchemy, the gold, the lighter gold up here. And I'm just going to use the same brush. I just wiped off the excess glitter primer. Don't know why I want purple and gold together, I just do. I feel like it. So that's going to go on the inner part of the eye. Oh, pretty. Right up to the cut crease, and then follow it along the cut crease, but leaving down here bare. So now I'm going to take the same brush again. I've just wiped it off again, and I'm going to take the back of the brush and we're going to go in with Charmed, which is this purpley shimmer. Now purple shimmers I always know when they're not great because they don't stick as well for some reason. This one, however, is actually quite nice. It's my first time using it and it's actually really nice. But sometimes I find purples go very dusty in the shimmers. I don't know, it must be just obviously because purples are quite difficult to make, but this is quite creamy, which I actually really like. And then when it's out on this outer corner here, just press over where it meets the matte, and then I'm going to add a bit more matte in there to blend them together. And I do just want to take my finger and pick a little bit of that purple up again and just smush. I like doing both brush and my finger just so I can get the most impact. Oh yeah, it looks more foiled when you use your finger. I like that, that's really pretty. Alrighty, so I just tidied up around the eyes just to make sure it's all nice and clean and no sparkly bits and no purpley bits all down there. So, and it was very easy to clean up. I just popped a bit of concealer on and it was fine. So I'm going to go back into the shade Alchemy, the lighter gold that I used. Or the only gold that I used in the palette. And I'm going to take that on a small little flat brush just to pop on the inner corner, because I could use the silvery colour, but because I've got the gold on, I might as well just use the gold. So yeah, and that is just going to go in here, and I'm bringing a small little bit as well into this lower lash line area as well, just so it all matches. Rightio. So that is how the shadow is looking. I'm going to jump off. I'm going to do the rest of my eyes, cheeks and lips, and then I'll come back and let you know what I used on the rest of my face. Alright guys, so this is how I have finished off my look. I'm going to tell you everything that I used on my face. I actually love how this turned out, by the way. I love it. So on my eyes, for my waterline, I used this guy here, which matches like bang on to that second purple that I used, like the brighter one that I used. And it's the LA Girl Shockwave Neon Eyeliner in the shade Vivid. I went in with my NYX Vinyl Liquid Liner in the shade Black, just as a liquid liner. Didn't go too crazy with the wing, but it's thick enough so it gives that real, like, almost like a doe-eyed effect, which I really like. Then my mascara is my Lash Power mascara from Clinique. Just, I used it, threw it on, mostly on my bottom lashes, because that's where you really see the mascara in action anyway, especially when I'm wearing lashes. And then for my lashes, I used my Primark Beauty 3D Angel lashes. That's what the box looks like. I think they've changed the box on them to like black packaging, but yeah, they're super kind of like what's the word, like soft on the ends, really dense in the root, but like a little bit wispy right on the ends, and I really like them. Then onto cheeks, my contour is the Humour Me blush, Mineralize blush from MAC. Some people probably use it as blush, as contour bronzer vibe, just to warm up my skin and give a bit of shape to my face. Then my blush is just something a little bit peachy pinky, and this is from Clinique. This is the Blushing Blush Powder in the shade Precious Posy. Super nice, soft pink. It's quite pigmented though when you're putting it on, so this got out of hand. I had to blend it down, not gonna lie. And then my highlight is this guy here. This is the Model Co. and Karl Lagerfeld Baked. It says baked blush on the outside, but I'm pretty sure it's just a baked highlight. And yeah, I love it. I think it's so pretty and so wet looking. I don't know if you can still get it. I'm pretty sure you can. I don't know. I'm not sure. Have a look and see. I got it in a glossy box, so that's why I have it. And then my lips, I went with my usual nude combo with a different weird kind of gloss. So my lip pencil is Whirl Liner from MAC. Classic. Love it. Like most people should have it in their collection. And then I went in with Flesh Pot lipstick from MAC as well. Just a super pale nude, really pale nude with a slight pink undertone to it. So it adds to that purpley pinky kind of look. But it still wasn't pinky enough for me, so I actually went in with this guy. Now you can't, I'm pretty sure you can't get this anymore unless you can get it in some areas in the world. I don't know. This is the Huggable Lip Gloss from MAC, and this is in the shade Snuggle. And it's quite a purple colour, but it's very sheer, so it just gives a tint. You could use any sort of pinky gloss if you wanted to on top and it'd give you the same effect. It's just I had it and I was like, I haven't used it in so long. Alrighty guys, so this is look number 2 using the Book of Magic palette. I'm loving it. Now I'll say the matte is not the best formula I've ever used in the world, but it's fine and I enjoy using it. It's not like I don't like using the palette. The shimmers are mwah, they're beautiful, they're stunning. So yes, very good palette. Just to have to work a bit with the shimmers. The blue shimmers or the blue mattes were fine. And the darker mattes are fine. I think it's just the lighter ones, the pastel-y ones. I think they just need to work on those a little bit more. That's it. So let's see what we do for look number 3. I think I'm going neutral for look number 3. So let's see how I look in neutral colours. Alright guys, on to our final look of the video. Today I'm feeling neutral. And yeah, I've been really excited about this look. And I don't know why I'm not usually excited about neutrals, but I'm excited about this one. I'm going to be using the dark brown, the warmer brown, and this shimmer here, which is like a brown to green sort of shift, which I think would be very pretty. I'm probably going to do a halo eye because I haven't done one in this video and I really want to. I have you guys zoomed in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing, but on my face, brows, I even have faux freckles on today. I tried it out again. My eyeshadow primer and all that jazz, it's all listed down below so you can see that there and you can see what I used. So let's get straight in. I'm just going in. We're going in. So I'm going to take a 221 brush. Now mine is extremely stained. I don't know why it got that stain. So we're going to actually start with the darkest shade and we're going to take Manifest, which is that dark brown, and we're going to pop that on the outer corner first. I just want to see how deep this goes. Oh yeah, that does actually go very deep. And I'm going to bring it in to the crease a little bit. Don't worry about blending yet because that's what the other colour is going to be for. I'm also taking it on the same brush and popping it on that inner corner in here. Not right into the inner corner, but the inner lid. Also bringing that into the crease, but I'm not touching them off in the middle. I still want there to be a little bit of a gap in here. Then I'm going in with the also slightly stained, these brushes, I swear to God. This is a 217 from MAC, and we're going to start blending that all out. This is the shade Amulet, is what we're going to use, the warmer matte brown. I'm just going to take a little bit of that and just start blending. So just kind of overlapping the end of that darker brown. And you can just slowly start bringing that up. That's blending quite easy. Make sure you're blending down this side of it as well. I don't want to lose any intensity of that dark brown because I really like how deep it is, but we do want to blend it, so I might add a bit more dark brown in. I'm also going to take a little bit of it as well, and overlapping this part in here, we're just going to blend that. And then once you have both done, then you can join in the middle. But I don't want the darker shade to join in the middle because then it creates like a circle around the eye. I do like that as well. I just don't want that for this look right now. I want it to be open so the halo is really prominent. Ooh, almost dipped into the black. We do not want that right now. Okay, so we're looking good. We're looking good. I'm liking this. We're going to work on the lower lash line before I do any shimmers or anything like that. Going to go back in with the shade Amulet, the deep brown, and just take this on a really small little brush just for the lower lash line. This is a brush I got on eBay, so I don't have a name or a number or anything like that on it. It's just a small little brush, whatever you want to use. But just taking that in between all my lashes, trying to get as close as we can. Make sure to connect it on the outer corner as we always do, and I'm bringing that the whole way across. I'm not doing like a halo on the bottom, I'm just smoking out the bottom. Then I'm just going in with a pencil brush. This is from the Rose Gold set from BH Cosmetics. It's a number 10 brush, just a little pencil brush. Did I say that I used Amulet for that bit there? I don't know what colour I said. The dark brown, obviously you can see it there, but I meant to say the dark brown. I don't know if I said the dark brown or not. Manifest is the dark brown that I used on my lower lash line, and now I'm going to use Amulet, which is a lighter brown that we used to blend up here. I'm going to use that to blend out my bottom lash line. Yeah, confusing. I don't know what I said. And same underneath here, just overlapping it at the edge mostly, and blend it out as thick as you want. And I like mine thick. That sounded dirty, but I didn't mean it like that. So now what I'm going to do is take another fluffy brush. This is a number 7 eyeshadow blend and contour. It's just a fluffy brush. It's kind of like a 217, but a little bit floppier. And I'm going to take that shade Vanish, which is the kind of creamy, buttery looking one. It's a bit deep for my skin to be a full-on brow bone highlight, but I just want to use it to soften out my edges around all the shadows that I've used. So I am going to apply it up under my brow bone, but it's not going to like actually highlight my brow bone. And I'm just going to take it around all the edges especially out here is where I really want to diffuse. Okay, and then on to the shimmers. I'm going to use my Too Faced Glitter Insurance. I'm just going to pop it on my finger because I don't want this to be too precise. Just a little bit, and just press it over the bare part of the eye. Then just with a flat brush, I'm just taking Crystal, which is that duochrome in the middle. So let's see. Ooh. I will say about this palette, like the shimmer or the matte formula is not like my absolute best in my whole collection or anything like that, but the shimmer formula is a good one in this. So yeah, it definitely has that like browny warm base, and then it reflects green really strongly as well. And I'm letting some of that, whatever's left on the brush, just trail into the crease a tiny little bit, just a smidgy. Then going back in with my darker brush, the one that I used the darker shade with, and tap over just with whatever's left on it where they meet, just so we have a nice blend. Okay, and then just to finish off with my inner corner highlight, I'm going to take the shade Alchemy, which is the gold, the lightest gold in the palette, and I'm just going to take that on that brush we used for the brow bone highlight shade and just take a little bit of that and pop that on the inner corner. Okay, so that's us done for shadow. Let me jump off. I'm going to finish off the rest of my face and I'll show you what I used. Alright guys, so this is how I finished off the look. I really love how this turned out. I actually really like this lip combo, which I'm going to show you now in a second. But first, the eyes. So all I did was I actually popped a tiny bit of my cheek highlight, which I'll show you in a second, on my inner corner just to lighten it slightly. It was just a touch too dark for what I wanted, but it's still the gold that I used, just a tiny bit lighter, tiny bit. So then on my waterline, I used my Essence Long Lasting Lip Pencil in the shade Rosy and Goldie. It's just like a rose gold colour because I thought it matched the matte shades really nice, and I popped that on my waterline. Didn't do any liner on my upper lash line or anything like that. And then my mascara is my Clinique Lash Power Mascara on my top and bottom lashes. My lashes are the BH Cosmetics N105 lashes. That's the box off them there. Super nice, super choppy. They give a really nice effect when you do a halo eye. I love these lashes for halo eye, and they were $3.50. Yeah. Get on the BH Cosmetics wagon with lashes because they're good. Then onto cheeks. For my bronzer, I use my Fenty In The Sun bronzer, the Sunstock bronzer, and yeah, that's it there. One of my favourite bronzers, still is one of my favourite bronzers. Then my blush is the MAC Extra Dimension blush in the shade Fairly Precious. It's just like a peachy shimmer. It's super shiny on its own, but I did add a highlight to it just because I want it to be extra glowy. And then my highlight is the Double Gleam Extra Dimension Skin Finish, which is one of my also one of my favourites as well. I really like that, so I popped that on my cheekbones, down my nose, and that's what I use just to lighten the inner corner a little bit. Then my lip combo, which is a really weird lip combo, but I really like it. So I have got this guy here. This is the Huda Beauty Lip Contour in the shade Flirt, just like a nice brown, like a standard brown nude lip pencil, really nice. Then my liquid lip, I popped this on because I was filming last night my liquid lip collection video, which I know you're thinking, that was a really long time ago. Yes, I know, because I'm pre-filming this one. And I realised I hadn't used this, and I thought this tone would be really nice. This is the Sleek Matte Me Ultra Smooth Matte Lip Cream in the shade Fields. So it's kind of like a tan caramelly kind of colour, and I thought that would be really nice. It was a touch too yellow, just slightly, so I used this guy on top, which is the Soap and Glory Sexy Mother Pucker in the shade Plums Up. It's quite pink, but it's very sheer, so it just added a touch more of that, I don't know, warmth to the lip, so it takes away that yellow tone, so it's not too yellow. But I love it, and it's a tingly one, and I can really feel it tingle. Okay, that is our 3 looks, 1 palette using the Book of Magic palette from Beauty Bay. I love this palette. Yes, the mattes are not, like, I wouldn't say they're not my favourite. Like, I still really like how they turned out. I would want to play with it a little bit more with the mattes. They're not the best formula in my whole collection, definitely not, but they work really well. The shimmers, though, are what really shocked me in this palette. I did not think the shimmers, particularly this coppery one, holy moly. The greeny sort of one, this one that I have on me right now is stunning as well. Even the blue, like this deep one and this shimmery blue, oh my god, the shimmers are beautiful in this palette. I already have my first impressions up if you want to see swatches and all that kind of stuff, so you can see that as well. I really like it. Definitely was worth the money. The BH Cosmetics formula is really good, especially for the money, because I think that palette was only like €18 and it does go down, so sometimes you get it for like 11. But this palette, unfortunately, is discontinued, sadly. Hopefully they might restock it eventually, I don't know. I'm excited to see more. And I had it and I really wanted to use it, and I wanted to make sure that I had it documented so I can compare other things to it. If you like this video, then give me a big thumbs up down below. It's the quickest, simplest and easiest way to give me a little bit of support, get me around to more people's viewing eyes. Is that the right way to say that? I don't know. And it gives me a little bit of encouragement to tell me that you want me to do more of these videos. Also, hit subscribe down below to see more videos coming up. We have many more palettes to play with, many more first impressions, and many more 3 looks, 2 looks on palettes, whatever way I'm going to do them, I don't know. And also my Instagram is linked down below, like I said at the beginning of the video. All the pictures of this look and all the other looks in this video, the eyes and full face pictures will be posted on my Instagram as soon as the video goes live. A couple days later, pictures start going up then. And also leave me a comment down below, let me know which look do you prefer. Do you like this neutral with a little pop of a shifty colour on the lid? Because I really like this one. I really enjoyed the blue one. Actually, the blue one turned out really well, especially I did a TikTok with that one and it did really well. I actually think I'm between this one, which is the neutral, which you wouldn't think so, and the blue. I think I love the purple and gold. I really like that as well. But the blue, it stood out to me. I don't always do a blue smoky eye, but it stood out to me. So yeah, you let me know your thoughts down below, and I will see you in the next video, guys.